Good morning. Welcome to UUFDC on April 10th. Welcome to our service.
Why do I have to say that if no one's even here?
Because this video, people will, like if they don't watch it live, they're going to see that at the beginning. So you want them to be welcomed.
What am I supposed to see?
Well, we could sit like back there. The other thing is you just want to make sure that this is up. You want to make sure that it's, that whoever's standing there, you can see them come around. So see where the microphone is. That's a way you can like gauge that your video is adjusted right.
Somebody stretched you.
Quite a bit.
Nice to see you. Nice to see you too.
So you can always adjust this a little bit if, because sometimes this might have been moved. So just make sure that it's, like kind of where Jim is standing is about where the podium is. So that kind of helps you think about if it's on the right
The
spot.
target I found for the up and down is to put the medallion, the top of the medallion right at the top of the screen. That seems to work for everybody's height. I move this
Oh,
back
and
and forth.
okay, so you might also need to move that a little bit too.
Black tape's off the floor.
Well, there's still some in the front here.
Okay. That's usually a good spot for the cart. It's right in the corner of the tape.
Did you want to look through this again at all, or?
I'll probably use it for the settings.
Well, I use it every time. I mean, just to make sure.
I would just need it for the settings. For the lives.
Nothing, we're not doing anything. The light is on. Test. Our order of service includes chimes, preludes, welcome announcements, chalice lighting, opening words, gather together to seek knowledge and wisdom.
That's okay.
I can hear.
Yeah,
Okay.
okay, good. Should it be more like this?
Yeah, as long as it's far as the voice is not.
Right, I don't wanna do the spitting sound. Mhm.
That sounded better.
We gather together to seek knowledge and wisdom, to explore freely the vast.
People will actually give you
Yeah.
to you after a while.
When it'll actually be quiet in here.
We think. Okay, all right.
And we can check it while we're,
Yes.
because I assume you and I are a little bit of a different height. So we'll have to move it a little bit.
Oh, actually, we're close, we're really close, yeah. So that's, and I tend to speak quiet, so I always have to.
I actually realize I don't want to have to like lean over the whole time.
You shouldn't have to, I mean,
Yeah.
Right,
It should.
I can move it.
this,
Yeah.
most of the are quite tall, so
Yeah.
something like that maybe.
We'll see.
I'm making coffee, so.
You know your job.
He's the coffee guy today, but he also does that. And I said, I don't know where Tom is, he's supposed to be here putting the mics together, so come do this job for a while.
Sure.
Okay. Now, I'm thinking over here.
She figured it out. So I have, she doesn't give up, you know. She sure got out there. But she did that, yeah, my dog must have. Yeah. Well, it was It's a lot of fun. I just always think it was so beautiful with the full extended.
Did someone welcome you?
What's that? I was invited to, so well, sure. I will. Absolutely. Up higher.
See, you knew it that we guessed 50-50 chance, right?
We want to be able to remember that. You.
Welcome to you.
Hi.
Thanks for being here.
Thank you for having me.
Understand that you're gonna be on your own as a consultant.
I am.
Looking
Yeah.
forward to that?
I'm feeling very called to do it. So yeah, it's a scary change, but I am really feeling really strongly to be able to work with more Unitarian Universalist congregations and bring the skills and knowledge that I've learned at the fellowship in Appleton and at the University of Texas before. It's been a hard 2 years for churches in general and ours also. So I'm really hoping to be able to help get us on the other side of this.
Has the Appleton you lost money?
Yes, everyone has. It's universal. I talk about that in the sermon today. I think it's important for everyone to understand.
We did a
this is a universal challenge for all these things, and it's not just our faith, but it does include our faith.
Yeah.
You may have to
It's been hard. It's been really hard.
Well, I wish you success.
No, thank
It's gonna be
you.
forever.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Yeah.
I'm thinking that I'm gonna have to start moving over in the direction of the speaker. The speaker, not the speaker.
Not the speaker.
Hi. Good morning.
This is Tom Schroeder.
How do you do?
Nice to meet you.
Because I'm too vain to be certified.
You're too young, right?
I'm way too young for that.
So, is somebody going to replace you at the
Eventually, yes. They're doing some just staff evaluations right now. I've been in the position for 7 years. Yeah, and I was the first one in it, and I evolved it based on my own interests and skills. And so they do review, yes. Who are we today? And what is it? Exactly. And so yeah, I'm hopeful by this summer I'll be able to have someone in place, but I'm kind of working to put everything in place for the start of the program year, so that they can just move into that role and change it as they need to.
And we still have the, I can't think of the female reverend.
Yeah. She's been like for 4 years.
So our good friends, yes, are it's really changed a lot. He was, of course, the minister before was really, yes, we were such good friends with him, and he was
Absolutely, and that's viewing any part of the because we get to know that there are and we have to figure out how to still feel outside of someone. Yes. As someone who is really strong about that's very much the identity. We have that, you know, happens to be or you know, do you feel it's important to have separation and space? So yeah, it's about setting
Yeah, it doesn't lay that. There's a small group of people that very much like me. There's a lot of work. Yes, and that's dramas for many of us. And I think it's really interesting because we get such a to me, it was really well. But Michael Bell was and it was just so refreshing to have a change now. I sometimes
yeah, the traditions are harder to learn. They're subtle.
very simple.
Yeah.
I suppose especially you know, even just consistent people do that respect. And I think that's why very fresh. So other than giving us an information, there is nothing. This is perfect. I was impressed by that Chelsea.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's wrong because then you're gonna get into but also that is part of something that I, you know, in our congregation, it's always saying
Whatever the service leader puts together, unless there happens to be a speaker here. And it has more background. You know, I love the venue and worship with. I love it. Oh my goodness, I can just get lost in it.
I found different words that I said you that just felt more like, well, these are actually spelled really nice words and it just really flows well. And with my theme, it's actually
Yes.
yes, please take down.
Are you ready? This is Donnie. I'm Your hands are so warm. I have Well, I have so many more friends, that's for sure. When I asked I'm gonna come up this way.
It's still generations, yeah. And life I mean, that's one of the things I love being part of. I just take and watch. This thing where they are different life stages and often in our company to represent sales
Thank you, Beth. This beautiful sunny morning and you start us off wonderfully. Good morning. Welcome to the Unitarian Universalist Fellowship of Dare County. My name is Cindy Nelson, and it's my privilege to welcome you and to be your service leader today. And a warm welcome to our friends, members, visitors who may be with us in spirit, but joining us from afar. If this is your first time here or your 100th and first time here, we are glad you are with us. If you carry the weight of a weary world on your shoulders, or you entered through the doors with a song in your heart and a skip in your step, we welcome you. If you are the loudest voice in the town square or the subtle hand behind the scenes, we are glad you are here. If you have failed once or failed 1,000 times, it matters not. We are glad you are here. If you sing like angels or mumble behind the hymnal, we are glad you are here. This community is what it is because of your presence. Welcome. Welcome into this space of love, support, justice, compassion, fellowship, and worship. We are glad you are with us. It's been our practice to invite visitors to stand and introduce yourselves. If you are comfortable doing so, we are delighted you are with us. Is there anyone who would like to stand?
Sure.
Marie's husband.
My name is Dave. I'm a member of the Fox Valley Unitarian Universalist Fellowship in Appleton. And have been a member there a long time. And I'm really grateful to be here. I drove by many times over the years. It was about time to get myself in here. Thank you.
Welcome, Dave. A few minor housekeeping details. Please raise your hand at any time if you need the mic, the sound system tweaked. Tom will be on it for you. Again, turn off cell phones, things like that, please. And at this time, announcements for the fellowship, and I totally forgot to ask somebody to do a mic, so. Thank
I
you.
have an announcement anyway. It's Dickinson Poetry Series this Wednesday. And our own Hannah Galt is going to be reading. And of course, we don't want to miss that because those are so wise, wonderful, and really funny.
So, any other announcements? Peggy will bring you the mic.
Don't miss Hannah. It's been said that 25% of the work on global warming will be by individuals and 75% will be institutions, businesses, and government. You have an opportunity this Wednesday to be part of both communities as we hold another Climate Factory Solutions meeting. The first one was 3 months ago, and there are 3 teams. And they are Earth Awareness, Food Choices, UU Sustainable Practices, and UU Alternative Energy. So we invite you to attend. The first group, the Sustainable Food Choices, has created their name, which just needs to be repeated, which is DOVE, D-O-V-E, Demonstrating Our Values Through Eating. And in Wednesdays and Fridays emails from Sarah, there were recipes from Meg and from Aline. Look those up. Sarah's been really good about doing the advertising for this event on Wednesday, 2:30 to 4 o'clock by Zoom. And if you don't want to access it, just call Sarah and say, send me a Zoom link. So welcome, welcome, welcome.
Good morning. It's always a pleasure to be here and play music. Just a real brief logic behind my madness on the offertory, which is actually an evening chorale. It sounds like it with the title, Now Woods and Fields Are Sleeping. But when I picked it out this week, it was snowing. So I just felt like it still fit the weather and my mood of the week. And it's beautiful. It's a Bach chorale, so we can't go wrong.
Any other announcements? Thanks, Peggy. I'm very much looking forward to our message today. Marie Luna comes to us from the UU Fellowship in Appleton. Although her professional journey is changing, she will soon be joining the UUA as a consultant. So we wish her all the best in this exciting career change. This will be the third time Marie has joined us, but I'm quite sure not the last. Her messages have always been spot on, spiritual, practical, wise. So again, thank you, Marie, for sharing your voice with us today. And with that, I ask you to light our chalice.
Thank you so much for having me today. Our chalice lighting words come from the Reverend Leah Ungiri, the former Associate Minister at the UU in Appleton. The flame of our chalice, as we come together in this intimate setting, is a symbol of the warmth and brightness that we hope will be kindled from our growing connections. Just as a fire is tended by those who are nearest, it cannot be fully cultivated without outside support. A base of ceramic to hold it, maybe a circle of stones to embrace it, matches or a lighter, ever-present oxygen. After all, the chalice fire is a spark of the flame within each of us. It starts with us and spreads to this group and lights our way back to the larger community of the fellowship, where this small group originated and is held in warmth and love. With respect for the great fire that fuels and illuminates life, her mysteries, connections, and opportunities, it is good to be here together.
Please stand as you are able to say the unison affirmation and to hum the doxology. We gather together to seek knowledge and wisdom, to explore freely the vast reaches of mind and spirit, to celebrate within a caring community those truths, ancient and modern, which give meaning and direction to our lives. And now to share our personal joys and concerns, an integral part of our community. Together, we share the happiness so that we may rejoice with each other, and the sorrow because together we may lessen the burden. Again, Peggy has the mic.
Hi, I'm Judy. I just wanted to thank everyone for the calls and the cards and your concern. 3 weeks ago, most of you know, I did have to go into the hospital for an emergency stent in my right artery, and I'm thankful, very, very thankful, because it was 99.2% blocked. And so I'm waking up every morning with great joy and appreciation for everyone and everything. I'm doing a lot better. I'm recovering. However, that stent could not fully open, and so they have to do what's called a shockwave treatment on it, which is similar to putting a stent in. It's the same procedure. You're in and out in one day. So although I've never heard of it before, I did learn they're doing that procedure on pigs this past summer. I told that to my doctor. He was not amused. So anyway, we're moving forward with great joy that they can get this totally fixed. And then there's 2 other stents that have to be done as well. So forgive me if I'm backing off from all obligations except getting my health and back on track. Thank you.
We wish you well, Judy. Certainly. Other joys and concerns? Well,
It's spring,
Yes.
finally.
And I am going to share some joys. Perhaps many of you read the article about the Golden Heart Awards this week, but I think it's worthy of acknowledging. We have 6 friends and members who all received awards. So congratulations, and I don't think any of them are here today. So we will honor them online. But Jane and Carl Wise, Pam and Terry Good, Marilyn Hansodia, and Bob Lindahl were all honored this past Wednesday night. And I'm really pleased. A couple more joys. Coffee and tea are back. So we will have that little bit of socializing in the gathering room. We have not yet gone to the full array of goodies, but the coffee and tea are there. And then the next joy is that we have talkbacks back. And so after you get your cup of coffee at about 11:15, we will join back in here with Marie, and we will Zoom with those folks from home and enjoy some more conversation with Marie. And my last joy is that I get to introduce Dottie. She is our pledge person for today, and she's just a joy all the time. So come on up, Dottie.
I have her mesmerized.
She told me I had to hold her hand.
Yes.
So
Well, you can just,
I'll just
just be
right here.
ooh, my reflection. What would Door County be like for me and you, and even the entire Door County Community Foundation, or community, if UUFDC had never been founded? Lloyd and I became members February 2nd, 2004, and it certainly has changed my life. So I want to thank especially Dave Hansel, who is in Appleton now, for his initial invitation to check out UUFDC. Dave and Yuda have since moved. We liked what we found here, and I always say in fun that before the ink was dry on the membership book, Lois McKinney was asking me to be on the membership committee. Really? I agreed and realized that it was just a wonderful way to get to know everybody and to get to meet people. And Lloyd became a regular on the Building and Grounds Maintenance Committee, and also we both were involved in the Memorial Garden. So we got in knee deep. I want to thank those who came before and started this wonderful fellowship. And I also want to thank those that came after that have made it so very special and kept it strong. So this fellowship is indeed important to all of us and the entire community. So enjoy life.
Thanks, Dottie. The offering, as you know, has recently been moved back to in-person. As a reminder, we continue to collect for our Ukrainian friends. Please designate your donation if possible, either for Ukraine or for UUFDC. All cash and undesignated funds will go to the Ukraine. As we speak, I think we are just under $8,000 that we have collected in the last 2 weeks for our Ukrainian friends. So continue your generosity as you are able. now let us open our hearts and minds to Marie. She will have the reading in the moment of silence and then her message.
Our reading today is called Saved by Teresa Spatola Novak. Come into this place. There are healing waters here, and hands with soothing balm to ease your troubled days. Bring your wounds and aching hearts, your scars too numb to feel, your questions and complaints, all are welcome here. Rest a while. Let the warmth of this community surround you, hold you, heal you. When you feel a bit stronger, notice those that need you too. They are here. They are everywhere. Weep with them, smile with them, work with them, laugh along the way. Pass the cup, drink the holy fire. Take it with you into the world. We are saved, and we save each other again, again, and yet again. Please join me in a moment of silence. When I was 25 years old, I was in a pretty deep situational depression. I had graduated college a few years earlier, and that strong and beautiful community that I had cultivated was gone. All of my friends had moved away after graduation, and I was lonely in a way that I had not experienced before. I was doing meaningful work in the community, but I only had a few coworkers, and they were in a very different life stage than I was. I had recently moved to Appleton, where many people have lived their whole lives, and it can be really challenging to find community and make friends as an outsider. I was living 3 blocks from the Fox Valley Unitarian Universalist Fellowship, and I didn't know what it was and how much I truly needed it. Thankfully, after about a year of driving by it every day, someone mentioned that I should check it out. I walked over the next Sunday and I fell for it all. The warmth, the welcome, the positive energy, the liberal values. I jumped in with both feet and found the friends and community that I was desperately looking for. When I tell people that this is not just a life-changing faith, but a life-saving one, I am speaking from my own experiences. Like our opening reading says, we are saved, and we save each other again, again, and yet again. A little over a year later, I was hired to be on staff to help people find what I found, a meaningful place within the fellowship community. And I've been doing that work ever since. And I know that my story of what I was searching for and what I found is not unique. There are many reasons why people search out our congregations. Here are just a few that I know personally. The parents of a child who is starting to ask the big questions. What happens after we die? What is God? The person who is transgender and needs to find a community to support them in their transition. The person who is in recovery and ready to grow spiritually, but in need of something different than their childhood faith. And of course, those like me, new to the area and needing friends and community. So I invite you to take a moment to think about what brought you in these doors or found this place online for the first time. Most likely, whatever that was for you would still apply today. And those who are still seeking out our congregations have similar reasons. But how people find us and what they find has changed drastically. The pandemic of the past 2 years has impacted faith communities as much as it has impacted other sectors. And we are feeling the burnout too. The last time I was with you was online in the summer or the spring of 2020, staring at my computer screen alone in my kitchen. There were no friendly greetings before the service started, enjoying this beautiful building like I have in the past. I talked in that sermon about how we are bigger than our building, that what makes us Unitarian Universalist is with us everywhere we go, as it resides within us. Today feels different than that service I led during the pandemic, thankfully, and certainly the one that I led before it in the fall of 2019. We have had to pivot to make hard decisions, knowing that sometimes there isn't a good answer, and knowing that there may be new information that pops up at any time, which will make those decisions moot anyway. I want to assure you that likely what you are experiencing in this congregation is very typical of what other congregations are experiencing. Lower attendance, more people who have been disengaged, and a feeling of loss, no matter what you decide to do. People are still at very different risk levels, which makes it impossible to give everyone the comfort level that they need. Of course, that's always been true with any group of people, but the many decisions that we have had to make in the last 2 years, unfortunately, we know are actively alienating at least a small group of people. And that level of impact is exhausting. And we are all exhausted in some way. We have been through 2 years of active collective trauma. And many of us have had individual trauma that compounds it. And then the ongoing nature of the pandemic means that we can't fully process and heal while we are still going through it. One way to talk about trauma from Peter Levine is that it is an emotional wound that results from experiencing or witnessing a traumatic event or events characterized by a lack of control, powerlessness, threat of injury or death. Traumatic stress occurs when our ability to respond to threat is overwhelmed. Or Susanna Barkataki talks about trauma this way. There are 2 types of power outside and power within. Trauma is the experience of external loss of power that becomes internalized. There are things that we can do that can help us to heal and grow by cultivating that power within. And some ways that we can do that are through moving our bodies, through yoga or Tai Chi, or some other intentional movement. We can also use breathing techniques to bring ourselves back into our body. Understanding the impact that trauma can have on our body and spirit can help process it. So let's do one together today. I invite you to do a breathing exercise with me, if you feel comfortable doing so. And if you don't want to, that's perfectly fine. Just take the next few minutes to just be present. So if you're willing to do this with me, deep breathing, especially when it's focused and slow, can help reduce anxiety. You can do this technique by sitting, or if you are in a different space, lying down in a comfortable location. And if you would like to, if you're comfortable doing so, I invite you to close your eyes. But you do not need to close your eyes if you don't feel comfortable. So first, I invite you to notice how it feels when you inhale and exhale normally. Now mentally scan your body. Do you feel tension, pain, relaxation, something else? Now I invite you to take a slow, deep breath through your nose, noticing your belly and upper body expanding. And then exhale in whatever way is most comfortable for you. Now do that a few more times, paying attention to the rise and fall of your belly. Now think about your inhale washing over you like a gentle wave. And your exhale carrying away negative and upsetting thoughts and energy away from you. Let's do that a few more times. Now, as you're ready, I invite you to open your eyes and come back to this space. So you might want to consider doing something like this or another breathing meditation. There's lots of apps that help us out, lots of things online, especially when you're feeling stressed or anxious. It helps regulate our nervous system. And I don't know about you, but my nervous system has a lot more fears nowadays than it used to. Like I said, you can also do a mindful movement meditation or exercise like yoga, or you can do something that's called EFT tapping, which is an alternative acupressure therapy that you do on yourself. You don't need anyone else other than maybe a video online. Talk therapy has been really helpful for a lot of people, or EMDR therapy is a really important one for people, especially processing trauma. These are all good ways of helping us heal from what we have individually gone through and collectively gone through the last couple of years. Because we're all feeling the impact. And of course, it's impacted our faith communities. And yet, we have learned how to pivot when needed. We have shifted because of the pandemic in accelerated ways unheard of in church systems. Churches have always been slow to respond to changes in the world around us. But we have adapted in these past 2 years in really important ways. We have learned to center those on the margins. We have focused on those who are most vulnerable, in our communities to make sure they are safe and healthy. We have purchased equipment, we've gotten really creative, and we've learned meaningful ways to offer worship that looks different than what we have always done. This evolution allows those who couldn't attend in person to still participate. There are people who are attending from a distance that allows them to stay connected to their faith community that they love. There are people who are attending for the first time because they are physically unable to be here in person. The accessibility of our services is inspiring. This also allows newcomers to get to know us in a way that is likely more comfortable for them. We know that most people who attend our congregations for the first time come with anxiety. Perhaps there's a newcomer here today that has some anxiety. And if so, please know, we understand. Often a life change is motivating them to attend, and life changes are often fraught with stress. They may be carrying baggage or harm from a previous faith community. And trying anything new out for the first time is just hard. But watching a service from the comfort of their own home helps them know if we are a good fit before they have to enter our doors. Teresa Spatola Novak writes these words that I shared in the opening reading. Come into this place. There are healing waters here, and hands with soothing balm to ease your troubled days. We come into this place in different ways today than we did 2 years ago. But the reason we come is still the same. She goes on to say in her poem, bring your wounds and aching hearts, your scars too numb to feel. Your questions and complaints all are welcome here. Rest a while. Let the warmth of this community surround you, hold you, heal you. Please note this, that we are all tired and stressed and need these communities to hold and heal us. Give yourself opportunities to do so, to find ways for this congregation to offer this. Give time for people to share their stories of what they've been going through. You might consider offering a workshop on trauma and healing. And if you need a suggestion for one, let me know. Because then, the poem goes on to say, when you feel stronger just a bit, notice those that need you too. They are here. They are everywhere. Weep with them, smile with them, work with them along the way. Pass the cup, drink the holy fire, take it with you into the world. We are saved, and we save each other again, again, and yet again. If you have been around a while, maybe you have moved through the journey that this poem takes us, maybe more than once. Or maybe you are starting on your journey here. So give yourself the time and space to heal and to be saved, knowing that someday you will be the one helping to save others. May it be so, and blessed be. So thank you so much for welcoming me here today again. I am so grateful to be in this space with you today. And I hope that you will join me for a congregational response after the service today. So today's closing words are called We Are One by Amy Zucker Morgenstern. Never has it been more true than now. We extinguish this flame, but the sparks within us remain alight. From each of us in our supposed solitude, the signals buzz and hum, sparkling through space to one another, connecting us invisibly but palpably. We are one, and from every window our light shines.
Thank you, Marie, and thank you, Beth, and thank you all for being with us. Please join us for coffee or tea or a glass of water. And then back over here for more conversation with Marie.
How exciting is that?
Thank you. Thank you. Pick and choose and cut and paste and.
So then you want to say something like, thank you all for being here. We'll be starting up the Zoom talk back at about 11:15. Hope to see you there if you're joining us live.
I haven't seen you for